حياكم الله أعزائي متابعي برنامج رواد الإمارات من مركز أمريكان سنتر. نحييكم. كما نعلم يعتبر الإنسان ذو الصحة النفسية الجيدة قادرا على التميز والإبداع إذا ما قرناه بالشخص ذو الصحة النفسية المتذبذبة. تفاصيل أكثر مع ضيفتي لليوم الدكتورة هناء الجيلاني. كونوا معنا.
Hello, my name is Hannah Al-Jilani. I'm a psychiatrist working in the American Center for Psychiatry and Neurology in Dubai. I was born in the UK, raised in Saudi Arabia, and then I moved to the UAE in 2017. So a little bit about me. I did my schooling in Saudi Arabia until the age of 14. Then I moved to the UK to go to boarding school. After that, I studied medicine at the University of Liverpool. Whilst at university, I became very, very interested in psychiatry. So upon graduation, I decided to specialize in psychiatry. So after my 2 years of internship, I did my training in psychiatry in Charing Cross Hospital in London, and did my MRC Psych exams and became a member of the Royal College of Psychiatrists in England. Following this, I worked for 6 years. And I moved to the Middle East in 2017. I worked in 3 different places: Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. In Saudi Arabia, I worked with children and adolescents mainly. In Oman, it was mainly adults in the private sector. And in Dubai, it's a mixture of children, adults, and adolescents. Psychiatry is a specialty within medicine that deals with mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, bipolar affective disorder, schizophrenia, and autism. What I do is I assess patients, I give them a diagnosis if they have a diagnosis, and then we come up with a treatment plan. The treatment plan is usually either therapy or medication or a combination of both. So for therapy, I refer to a psychologist who does talking therapy with them, cognitive behavioral therapy, and other therapies. With regards to medication, it's a topic which I really like to talk about because a lot of patients stigmatize mental health. A lot of people think that if they're coming to a psychiatrist, they're crazy. There's no such thing as crazy. And coming to a psychiatrist does not mean that. Sometimes you're just depressed and you can't get yourself out of that mood. And the treatment is very simple. And medication is not like what people think. There's a stereotype that if you're on certain medication, you gain weight, you're like a zombie, you can't function, you get addicted to the medication. But we have a lot of medications these days that don't do these things. So your quality of life can be improved so much with things that are not going to affect you, medication that's not going to affect you in the long run. So I think mental health awareness is a huge thing that needs to be looked into. Sometimes some conditions that patients suffer from are due to chemical imbalances in the brain. And as soon as we fix that chemical imbalance, everything goes back to normal and they go back to functioning. We have people in very high positions who have mental illness, lawyers, leaders, and they're able to function and they're able to live their life to the fullest. That's because they're aware that there is treatment out there. And I feel that the awareness should start at school. Everyone knows that if you're sick, you go to a doctor. If your leg is hurting, you go to a doctor. But not everybody knows that when you're feeling down, anxious, there is a solution to that. There are a lot of mental health conditions that are quite common with people. Depression, for example, it's more common than we know because it's not something that we can see. Also, in our culture, I find that there's a lot of social anxiety. And it could be because when we're little, we're not expected to talk around adults. In fact, in some cultures, it's even rude to when there's a group of adults talking for a child or an adolescent to give their opinion. Then suddenly we turn 18 or we get jobs or we get married and we're expected to talk in front of people. We're meant to socialize on a different level. And that can cause anxiety to a lot of people. This is something that's very easily treated. And it's something that people don't know that it could be treated. So it's very important to start this awareness of mental health. My advice to you is to always look after your mental health because it's an important component in your quality of life. There are simple things that you can do that can really boost your mental health. One of them is as simple as exercise. Exercising for 20 minutes a day or even 20 minutes 3 times a week can increase your happiness level. You release endorphins when you exercise, and this could contribute to your energy levels, to your happiness, to your productivity. Eating well is another thing that's quite important. There are a lot of foods that are packed with nutrients that help you with anxiety, low mood, stress. One of them is Brazil nuts. They're packed with selenium, which helps with anxiety. There are lots of things that relax you, help you sleep, like chamomile tea and peanut butter, which has a substance called tryptophan in it, which is quite relaxing. So having a healthy, varied diet plays a huge role in mental health. Physical health plays a huge role. If you're physically well, your mental health is optimized. So it's important to look after that. One of the biggest causes of anxiety is low vitamin D levels, and it's very common that people have low vitamin D levels. It's actually genetic in some regions around the world. And even if you expose yourself to the sun from morning till night, you can still have a deficiency in vitamin D. And I have some patients who I just prescribe vitamin D supplements and their mood improves significantly. So it's good to check all your nutrients, eat a varied diet, make sure there are no physical health conditions contributing to your mental health. There are physical health conditions such as low thyroid as well that is linked to depression. So that should also be looked into. A work-life balance is important. That's a lot of us just work hard day and night and then go home, go to sleep, start again. That can lead to burnout, a lot of stress. So it's very important to give yourself the time to relax, time to spend with your family, time to release all the energy that's gone into you. You have to bring it out again. And that's a good way of maintaining stable mental health. There's a lot of support in the UAE towards mental health. Insurance covers a lot of mental health conditions, certain insurances do, which is really important. And the government sector also provides a lot of services that could be reached by anybody. There has been a lot of campaigns about mental health by the government, by the leaders of the country, and this has raised a lot of awareness. And I think if this continues, it will only lead to something even better. I was lucky enough to always be supported by my family and friends within my education and work. I had very supportive parents. My dad was a surgeon and my mom was a psychologist. So I took a bit of each and became a psychiatrist. They always encouraged my work. There were times when the studies were very difficult, when we had to stay long hours. but I was always encouraged to keep going. And I think that's the key to success, to persevere. There's no such thing as failure. If you fail, you just learn from what happened, and the next time you do it is going to be even better. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to always put yourself in the best situation that you can put yourself in. My future plan is to remain in the field of psychiatry. I want to learn more about it. It's such a deep topic, and there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of research that's been happening in the field of psychiatry. I'd like to contribute to that. I'd like to continue self-developing myself and learning more in order to give more. I really believe any doctor, whether a psychiatrist or in any other field, can keep on learning. A doctor can keep on learning until the last day. So that's my future plan, and I would love to contribute to awareness. I feel that's the most important thing. If people are more aware, people are more able to seek help. My message to you is to keep going. Perseverance is key. Don't look at failure as a negative, and keep trying your best. Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself, because you can only improve yourself, and with practice, you can do anything. Lastly, a special thanks goes out to the leaders of the UAE for their unlimited support towards the medical sector. Like Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid said, there's nothing impossible in the country of infinite possibilities. حفظ الله شيوخنا.
كنا معكم أعزائي متابعي برنامج رواد الإمارات من مركز الطب النفسي أمريكان سنتر. للحلقات القادمة كونوا بخير.